Here's another vignette of Onomics. Here we are in the spring of 2024, and I ask the question, why is the real estate market weird right now? Real estate, like all other goods, is seeking an equilibrium. Equilibrium, that point when the buyer's value intersects with the seller's price. So why do I say the market is weird? During the pandemic, there was this massive surge in demand. So the demand for homes increased. The demand was higher than the normal market could bear. And when buyers outstrip sellers, there's a competition and prices go up. As the prices started to climb, more sellers came to the market. However, buyers were still greater than the sellers, and as such, prices continued to go higher. We had this period of time, which was unusual, and house prices were pretty close to doubling in about 3 years, when the normal growth rate was around 5% to 7% a year. The pandemic period brought all these buyers and sellers from the future back into that period of time. What you're seeing now is sellers are trying to get the highest price possible. They are still getting significantly higher equity value than what would have been normally the growth they could have expected. Buyers, sensitive to the higher interest rates and higher price of homes, are making careful and prudent decisions about how they buy and how much they spend. So we're in this hazy period where sellers who missed out on the very peak of the market are reluctant to reduce their prices, and buyers who waited through the peak are wanting to see if prices go down. It's going to take a while for the market to absorb this flurry of activity that happened during the pandemic. However, if you look at this growth trend chart, the median price of homes is actually up 1.3% since March of 2022, and the average selling price is actually 3.3% higher from March of 22. I suggest that this slower than average growth rate over those 2 years is the market absorbing those transactions that were pulled forward and back to a more normal time. Yet perhaps somewhat striking is that the average selling price actually went up over 10% from March of 23. This is intriguing because interest rates have not gone down. Buyers, on average, are willing to pay higher prices year over year. I think this speaks to the realization that a utility buyer gets from a property, whether due to expanding family or having a second home to enjoy, etc., is playing a crucial role in prices that buyers are willing to pay. So is it a good time to buy? My answer is yes. Home prices are not moderating, dropping, and on average, historically, have trended upwards, so home you buy today will be worth more in the future. Is it a good time to sell? That question is perhaps a little more difficult. If interest rates decline, you could anticipate more buyers coming to the market, and when they do, they create demand that, in theory, creates increasing prices. Regardless, historically, house prices have always gone up. Question is, what is the purpose of selling? Perhaps you've had a life change, or you want to be a buyer on the other side of a transaction. And that benefit, utility, value of your new property is worth more than waiting for a higher price on the property you're selling. Regardless of whether you're a buyer or a seller, the market factors are such that when we work together, if you're a buyer, I will help you find the home that gives you the right value for the dollars you want to spend. And if I'm working with you as a seller, I'll help you realize a price that gives you the freedom to take that next step. If you'd like more information about the data I presented or have a question about the real estate market, please feel free to reach out. Today is tomorrow's yesterday. Let's make it a great memory.